Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I am going to show you how to take a simple card design and turn it into a fun little pop-up card. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have 4 different simple card ideas to share with you, and I'm going to show you how to create a fun little pop-up section so you can add the pop-up section to any card design. Now, the cards in this video feature the Driving By stamp set from Stampin' Up, so this is one of the many Saleabration products that you can get for free with a qualifying purchase during Saleabration. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make all of the cards, and then I'll show you how to make the pop-up section. And you'll be able to use the pop-up section in any one of these cards. All right, so this is the first simple card design that I have for you. So first we will start out with a piece of white cardstock measuring 3 3/4 inches by 2 1/8 inches. And I'm going to start by stamping just one of the images from the stamp set in the center of this little piece of white cardstock. So we'll add this. And then I'm just going to use a variety of stamping blends to color in the image. Now you can use any coloring tools that you want. I just prefer the Stampin' blends. All right, so once you have your image colored, then you can go ahead and stamp a little greeting. So I'm just using some Misty Moonlight ink, and we'll just stamp this little greeting right up on the top. All right, so that's the basic concept for creating our little focal point. Okay, so we're ready to start assembling our card. So this little focal point is just going to go right in the center here. And then I cut 2 pieces of designer paper at 1 by 3 3/4 inches. And so that's just going to go kind of above and below this image. And then I cut 2 other pieces of designer paper at 1/2 inch by 3 3/4 inches. And so those I'm going to kind of overlap onto these other pieces. And that's the basic idea for the card. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere these pieces. We'll add our little focal point. So I popped up this piece that I did the coloring on, just using some dimensionals. So that's going to go right in the center here. And I'm just using some Pool Party cardstock for the base of my card. So we'll add those little pieces. And notice how I'm just overlapping them onto those 1-inch pieces. Then for the finishing touch, I'm just going to add some of these little resin stars. And there you go. Just a quick and simple yet cute little card. All right, so here is card number 2. This is just another quick and simple card idea and just a fun way to use this stamp set. So we're going to start with some Pool Party cardstock for the base of our card. So the first thing we'll do is we will add a 2 by 4 1/4 inch piece of designer paper right across the center. Now I'm using some of the pattern paper from the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper pack. So that's, again, another one of those Saleabration items that you can get for free with a qualifying order during Saleabration. But you can really use any designer paper that you want. The next thing I'm doing is just adhering a 3 by 3 1/2 inch piece of just a different pattern across the center. And then I had some little leftover scrap pieces of pattern paper that I wanted to use up. So I'm kind of using them like washi tape and adhering them above and below this piece of designer paper. So these pieces are 1/2 inch by 2 1/4 inches. And then I just decided to use a different image from this set. And so I've already colored it in, and then I just cut it out with my scissors. So I'm just going to pop this up right on the lower part of this designer paper. Then I took one of the greetings from this set. It actually said, "Aw, thanks." So I just cut the "aw" part off, and I just stamped this on some scrap pieces of Daffodil Delight cardstock. And then I just cut them out with my scissors. And so I will just add the "thanks, thanks, thanks" across the top here. And then the last thing I did is just add a couple of stars, those resin stars again on the side. Of course, you can add some twine or you can just leave it as is. Either way, it's just a really super cute little card. Okay, the third card idea is another just fun and simple design. Again, you can use any designer paper that you have or any supplies that you have on hand. So for this card, I'm starting with a piece of basic white cardstock for the base of my card. Next, I cut a 2 by 5 inch piece of designer paper, and I'm just adhering it to the left side of my card front. Then I cut a 3 by 4 inch piece of designer paper. So this is actually the back side of this piece that I used here. And so I'm just going to adhere this right to the center of the card, kind of off center a little bit, so it overlaps onto that other piece. Then I'm just using up some of my scraps. So this is just a 1/2 inch wide by 3 inch long piece of designer paper. So I'm kind of using it like washi tape again. Next, I just cut out a shape using the Hippo and Friends die set. So you can cut out any shape that you want. You can use any die set that you want. I just really like the shapes in this particular set. Then I just took one of my light gray granite Stampin' blends and I just created kind of like a little bit of a shadow underneath the car image that we're going to add. So this is the car image that I'm going to add. So you can make this as large or as small as you want. This way it doesn't look like your car is just sitting in midair. So we will adhere this to the card front. And as you can see, I've already colored my car. And then the last thing I did is just stamped one of the greetings on a scrap piece of this designer paper. And then I'm just going to pop this up on the card. And then you can add some twine or you can leave it as is. So either way, the card is just really super cute. And it's just a fun way to use up some of your designer paper. Okay, so this is the last card that I have to share with you. And then I'm going to show you that fun pop-up section. So to create this card, I started with a piece of white cardstock for the base of my card. Then I cut a 3 by 5.5 inch piece of designer paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is just stamp this image on the top and bottom of this paper. So I am just using Pool Party ink, which is the same color as the designer paper. So it just kind of gives it a more subtle look in the background. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the right side of my card front. Then I just cut a 3/4 by 5.5 inch piece of designer paper. And then I'm just going to adhere that so it overlaps onto this piece a little bit, but it leaves a little bit of white showing through from our card base. And then I just stamped this little image on a scrap piece of white cardstock, just colored it in and then cut it out with my scissors. So I'm just going to pop this up right in the center here. Then I just stamped a greeting on a scrap piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock, and then I just cut it out with my scissors, and I'm adhering this right to my card front, kind of down on the bottom here. And then of course we'll add some more stars. And then you can add some little twine or anything that you want to the side to decorate it up. But I'm not going to do that because I'm going to show you how to turn this into a pop-up card. Okay, so here is the card I'm going to show you how to make. So it's basically the same thing I just showed you, except for I added this cute little pop-up section on the inside. Isn't that so cute? It just makes me smile. So I'm going to show you how to add this little section. It's very simple. You are not going to believe how easy this is. All right. So the first thing that you need, this is just a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of white cardstock. So I'm just going to put this in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to score off the 8.5 inch side. I'm going to score down at 4 1/4. So this is just standard card size. So when this is closed, this is 4 1/4 inches, and this is 5.5 inches. So I want to cut this down just a little bit so that it's not the same size as my card. So basically what I'm going to do is just cut this down to 4 inches. So this will be now 4 inches. This is my folded piece of cardstock, and then I'm just going to cut this down to 5 1/4 inches. So now this will fit on the inside of my card. So now that you have this piece cut out, what you're going to do is you're just going to take this upper corner, and I'm going to turn it upside down so the card opens this way. So you're just going to take this upper corner and you're just going to fold it over until you have it kind of parallel with the bottom of your card. So you're just going to kind of eyeball this. And then you'll just use your bone folder to just kind of burnish this fold. So you're just folding in a corner. And then you're going to open it up, and you're going to have this little pop-up section here. I'll just kind of play with it. So you'll have this little pop-up section that you can use and insert inside your card. So this will get inserted right like this, and you'll have that cute little pop-up section. So that's how easy that is to create. So it's basically just your card folded in half. So this is 4 inches here, this is 5 1/4 inches here, and then you just take that corner and you just fold it. And then when you fold it, you're going to bring this section in. You bring your section in like that, and you'll have this little triangular pop-up section for your card. Okay? All right, so now we can go ahead and decorate it. So what I did is I cut out 2 of these little car van images, colored them in already, and these are going to get adhered back to back on this pop-up section here. So the first thing I want to do is just take it and I want to fold it in half. So this is my front one. So you can just fold it in half. This is the one that's going to go right here on the front, and you want to fold it because you want this fold to match up with this fold, okay? And then this is my back one, so you're going to fold it the opposite direction. You're going to fold it in half this way, so the icky side is out, okay? And then these 2 will get glued together. So we're going to start by adhering this one first. I'm just going to add some glue to the bottom here, and we're going to adhere this right over that fold. So I'm just adhering the bottom part of this little van over this fold, okay? And then we'll flip this over, and then on the back side, we're going to adhere this one on the back side. So we can add some here. You can add glue all over this one. And we'll adhere it and line it up the best we can on the back. And then we'll just kind of crease it a little bit. Okay, so that's what the pop-up section looks like. So now we can kind of fold it in half and just crease it a little bit so that you have a good pop-up section. All right, so let's go ahead and add it. We're going to add it to the inside of this card. So the best way to do this is just I do a side at a time. So I just add some glue. I recommend using liquid glue because it gives you a little bit more flexibility to kind of move this around. So I'm going to hold my card up, the inside section here. I'm going to hold this up a little bit and get this positioned where I want it, and then just fold my card down. So I have the one section adhered, and then I have this lined up with that section. So now I can go ahead and glue this. So we'll add some glue here. And then we'll just fold that over and give that a second to dry. And then you have your pop-up section. Cute, cute, cute. And then you can go ahead and add, I just added a couple pieces of designer papers. So these pieces are just 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just adding one to that side, and then we'll just add one to this side. How cute, how stinking cute. This is so cute. But I added a little greeting, added some pattern paper, and I have this cute little pop-up section. And so every time you close the card, it folds down inside the card. So it's really super cute. So we learned this at one of our team meetings this month, and I just thought it was just a simple and cute way to add a little pop-up section to any of your cards. Okay, so there you go. Now you have 4 different simple card ideas that you can use with really any supplies that you have on hand. And you also have a fun way to add a pop-up section to your cards. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.